we're trying to meet once a month, and to share with you the power of the angel that is in charge of that month and sign. And as we know, both Rachel and I do work with angels, which is zoom into the person correction, tikkun karma. But it's just so beautiful that there's always an opportunity to work with very specific angel. And if we're unfamiliar with their names or their power, we're unable to use them really, because there's no corrosion in spirituality. So before we dive into the beautiful angel called Sandalfon that is in charge of the second month of the second lunar month of Pisces, Adar Bet, I just want to take a little bit of time just to explain what does it mean a leap year, and when we have actually 2 months of Pisces. So it's very interesting because we are in a leap year, so we have 2 months of lunar month of Pisces, and it actually appears every few years. The technical reason why this year is a leap year, because we know that there are 2 types of calendars, 2 lengths of years. We have the lunar calendar, the lunar cycle, and there is the solar cycle, the Gregorian year that most of us, of course, familiar with and we follow, which we actually calculate 365 days. And it's concerning the rotation around the sun. Now, the lunar year is actually the one that is short, and it's the rotation of the moon. Now, because Kabbalistically, we really relate to both the lunar cycle and the solar cycle, as years go by, because the lunar year is shorter, the calendars begin to deviate, you know, like going apart. And basically the connections and the months start occurring in different times in the year. So in order to make sure it doesn't really happen again, it's very technical, but it's important to understand why. The Kabbalists actually instituted a calendar many years ago, where what's called a leap year, where you have 2 months of Adar, which is Pisces, because it's the last month in the Kabbalistic year, so that the lunar cycle can catch up with the solar cycle. Again, it's very technical reason, but it's important to understand that Kabbalistically in a leap year, the month, the moon is catching up to the sun. So it is the energy of that ultimate perfection. It's important to know the moon actually represents all of us. It represents what we call the vessel, which is us, humanity, and also representing all the areas of lack in our lives and in the world. So that's why it's just so important. And it's when it's a leap year, it actually allows us to once again fill up ourselves and the world and our life with the totality of the light, which is also the secret of the second month of Pisces, and also the angel that soon, of course, you will share. So just to end about this, it connects all the way to the story of creation in the book of Genesis with the creation of the sun and the moon. And the moon basically complained why she doesn't have the same light as the sun. And it actually, the creator told them, Vaya ora chama ke'ora levana, which is at the time of the end of correction of humanity, the point of perfection that will be achieved at the end of the correction, when all death, pain, and suffering will be completely removed, is when those 2 energy will, combine. And this is what happens in the extra month of Pisces, which we just started.
Can I ask you a quick question about it? So we know, and we spoke about it last month, and I posted a lot about it. Pisces is a month of blessings. It's a month of miracles. It's a month of removal of the doubt. We can change everything. But what I feel personally, and what I hear from a lot of the students, is that the energy is very heavy. A lot of people are facing difficulty and pain, and there's general, even just being super tired, not being able to do your day-to-day tasks. Why, if this is such a powerful month with the holiday of Purim and all these amazing blessings, why is it so heavy? Why is it so difficult?
As our teacher Karen always mentioned, to this, everything works in polarities. to the same extent of darkness, to that extent there is the potential. And for sure, because we can reveal all this light, we do all. And I totally agree with you and all these people. I also feel it, and of course our students as well. But because we taste that lack, we taste darkness and sadness, to that extent we need to understand the potential to fulfill and remove it is there. And why won't you share with us, about Angel Sandalfon? Because I'm sure it's so powerful and exactly for that purpose.
Right. So I think many people are familiar with this angel from different writings or from the Zohar, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that never heard of him before. He's actually a very, very famous and great angel, and so powerful that the Kabbalists would not pronounce his full name. And instead of Sandalfon, they would call him Sandal, just to give him kind of like a nickname so they can refer to him and to his power when they talk. And the interesting thing is that he is half of a pair of two angels that are working together. The other half is Metatron, which again, I'm saying it once for people to know, but it's recommended not to say that name. So the Kabbalists will call him Metat. So we're going to refer to him as Metat and Sandal. These two are the power couple of the angel realm. And if you notice, their names both end with the sound on, which is different from many different sound El. They have a different energy. They're coming from a different realm. And as a couple, like I said, power couple, they consider to be doing the kind of like part of the greatest work closest to the creator, because it says by the Kabbalists that the angels, there's milliards of angels, and they're in charge of all different places and gates and directions and realms. These two are very, very close to the creator. The Zohar refers to them sometimes as the right and the left leg, like they're like the two legs, the two power pillars that are holding it all together. And there's many descriptions in the writings about what they do and what is their power. We're not going to be able to go through all of them, and again, a lot of them are very mysterious and technical and confusing. So we will try to talk about what do they do and what does it mean for us. So it is said about both of them that they are together in charge of the connection between humans and the creator, which the Zohar sometimes called the king that sits on the throne. Now, of course, we understand that we don't mean an actual king, an actual old man with a long beard sitting up in the sky, looking down at us and saying, oh, he's good, he's bad. That's not what we are talking about. When we say the king and the creator and God, we mean the source of all energy that create in the universe, which that source is also inside of us, inside of you, inside of me, inside of everybody. It's everywhere, it's in everything. But that is the source. So these two angels are the closest to the source. And specifically, it is said about Sandal, about the angel of this month, that he is standing behind the veil, kind of like close to the creator, kind of like peeking through. And every time a prayer is coming from us, from humans, and it's being elevated to the upper world. And by the way, we spoke about it last month. We spoke about Angel Anael and how he kind of like part of his job is to bring those prayers up. Sandal is taking those prayers, and it says in the Zohar, he is making knots out of these prayers. He's kind of like putting them together, and he's creating a crown out of them, and he's placing that crown on the head of the king,
Wow.
the creator, the source. Such a beautiful, poetic description, right? So I think what it means, and I would love to hear your opinion too, it's not like, oh, okay, this human prayed for something, here's a prayer, God, do with it what you may. No, no, it's different. He's really articulating, he's taking that prayer, he cares about that prayer. He's making a shape out of it, he's creating a crown out of it, and he's bringing it to the king's head. It's almost like he is kind of like making sure that our prayers are being valued. They have beauty. They become a crown. They become something important and valuable and something that represent a king, because a crown represents the king. So to me, what it means is he's really there for us to articulate our prayers, to make sure we are connecting to our true desire. What is it that we really want? What is it that we really need in our life? And to take it and to reshape it into something the Creator will rejoice with. The Creator loves our prayers. Like, if you think about it, why do we even have luck in our life? Why didn't the Creator just give us everything? So of course, like you said in the beginning, there has to be free will. We have to earn it. We know all that from Kabbalah. But also the Creator loves our prayer. Our prayer are a gift to the Creator. And part of us going through luck or through a situation in which we are not happy and we need to activate prayer is because that is such a beautiful gift for the Creator. You have anything to add to it?
I'm just thinking probably people ask, isn't it enough somebody prays? Like, why do we need an angel to actually take it? Like, isn't the Creator just open to hear our prayers? And what does it mean for you also, like, to make a crown, for the Creator? Like, does the Creator needs it? Like, is that the only condition to be heard? Like, if we can make it more practical, how would you define it?
Right. So your first question about why do we need angels to do this work? It's a great question, and we can ask it about all the different functions of the different angels. Why do we need an angel for healing? We can just pray for healing for the Creator. It's all true, and the angels are not replacing the Creator. The angels are extension of the Creator. The angels are, let's say, manifestation of different aspects of the Creator. We have healing, we have sustenance, we have love and relationship. We want to find our soulmate, we want to have children, we want to overcome a specific pain or trauma. There's so many different aspects, and the angels represent all those different aspects. And then their part is like a connection between us, between our realm to source, to the Creator and God. And sometimes a lot of people feel like, I can't ask God for these things because God is so far away from me. I don't deserve it. I wasn't a good enough person to be worthy to ask God for anything. Or people might think, oh, I've been asking God for so many years, he's not listening to me because everything I prayed for did not happen. So there's a lot of gaps. There's a lot of different gaps that in essence were created by our consciousness between where we are at and the true source of the light of the Creator. The angels
Beautiful.
are there to bridge that gap, because anybody can feel like, oh, I connect to this angel and that angel is going to help me to get to God. And we know stories of people that have been in despair, in a very dark place, in a place that they felt like there's no hope, it's all dark, nothing's going to help me. And an angel, form of an angel or sound of an angel was revealed to them and got them out of this darkness gradually. So the second question you asked me, why is it a crown? It's, again, a crown is representing the king. When we have a king anywhere, he doesn't need the crown, right? Like, everybody knows he's the king. It's official. It's his title. He gets to decide all his decisions. The crown is like a decorative item that is used in an official event. So the king will actually put the crown on the head to show outside I'm the king. So it's not necessary, but it's beautiful. It's a kind of like an added. It's an added little thing just for beauty and for representation. Okay, and again, the creator doesn't need our prayers. The creator is not waiting for our prayers, but the creator loves our prayer. This is like something beautiful that he would wear as a crown, something he enjoys, or if we can say he, something that force enjoys. And what does it mean even more for us? It means we should be asking, we should be praying, we should be activating. A lot of times we have a situation in our life, we feel lack, we feel pain, we feel whatnot, and we don't activate prayer. We just feel like there's nothing to do about it. I can't figure it out. You don't have to figure everything out, but you have this opportunity to activate the light force of the creator, the source, which is also inside of you. It's not like praying to some force out there. It is inside of you. Prayer is something that can activate that force that exists in the universe and send it directly to a specific area in your life where you feel lack.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'm sure our listeners getting a lot of insights into it. I think it's also really cool. I mean, we're in the second month, we're in a leap year, right? And this coming Saturday night, it's the anniversary of Moses, and we just said about the partner of Angel Sandalfon is actually Metatron. That was actually his teacher and mentor.
Right.
And it's because we actually mentioned the death anniversary of Moses to connect to all his light, which is all about victory and compassion in the same time. So it's very, very Pisces. And we always mention it in the second month, in a leap year, as well as Purim. So Purim is in 2 weeks from now. And if you know about the story of Purim, which again was one big miracle. Of course, there are two different kinds of miracle. There are miracles that are in nature, that naturally something happened, and there are miracles that are completely against nature. And also interesting that Sandalfon, Angel Sandalfon, is also called, in Hebrew, it's called Saraya, which is the minister of the forest. And it's very interesting, I mean, because the Hebrew word for forest, Ya'ar, Yud Ain Resh, actually is the same exact letters of the 72 name of God for certainty, Ain Resh Yud. So again, very much connected to the energy of both Sandalfon, Moses, Metatron, and definitely the fact we have double dose of Pisces, the whole idea of beyond logic and bring it in. You asked before about why all this heaviness and darkness, because we can really take it to the next level. And I just want to emphasize something so interesting that is connected to beyond logic and actually sadness and happiness and joy, because the famous sentence about the month of Pisces, Adar, משנכנס אדר מרבים בשמחה, when Pisces just start, we should not only be happy, but we should actually increase happiness and emphasize happiness for the whole next year, actually. But the teacher of the Rav, Master Kabbalist Rav Brandwein, taught him something so profound, and he said that joy is a gift from above, from the supernal world. And the Zohar in Portion Tetzaveh shares that the state that the individual is in, that's the type of light they can draw. So a person pushes himself to be in a state of happiness from above, he will be showered with light of happiness. And a person who holds on to sadness for all the best reasons, I mean, we all have good reasons to be sad or down, but actually showered, God forbid, unfortunately, with judgment. So the same with certainty. Certainty is not positive thinking or reverse psychology or, all those things you want to tell yourself, relax, relax. As soon as you open your eyes, you're not going to be relaxed, So certainty is not just faith. Certainty is, unless everything in your body and your system tell you this is really bad, run for your life, and you say, No, actually, it's only a test. I know the creator is still with me. I know the light is still here. Yes, it's not comfortable. Yes, I'm not sure how it's going to be evolved, but I choose the light. And unless you actually practice that muscle, you won't have that certainty. Certainty don't just come naturally. And now we understand also with joy and
Right.
happiness, because we are so conditioned. Usually we feel joyful or happiness because of external things that happen to us, but then we lose it in a second. That's how we know it's not real. So we want to be able to reveal the light of joy and happiness that will sustain even more blessings and more joy and happiness to come. And here we understand that we actually have to awaken that light. And definitely the angels definitely help us to draw that light from the supernal world. And that's the secret of true joy and true happiness, that it's a gift and it's not an effect of anything happening
Right.
to us.
It's a gift, like you said, but it's also something that we can activate. We can give that gift to ourselves through a lot of work,
Yeah,
like you said. Because
yes,
in essence, it's important to understand that lack of certainty is really the source of all the opposite of joy, like all sadness, depression, losing faith, losing energy, not thinking anything's going to happen. Because the the certainty, what does certainty mean? Like a person go through something in their life. Let's say they hear that they are sick with something, or somebody that they care about is died, or they lost a lot of money, or a relationship they were in failed, or whatever it is. They see it as something dark and negative. Now, what if I came to that person who has experienced whatever and tell them, show them, open up the past and the future and the next lifetime and the past lifetime, and show them everything, and tell them, I guarantee you that because you're going through this, you're going to have so much more money, or you're going to meet your soulmate in a few months, or you're going to pass away, but your next life will be like magical, or whatever it is. And I show them, and now they have 100% certainty that this process that they go to is very good for them. Then they will not be depressed, they will not be stressed. And we know how going into those dark emotions, depression, stress, worry, actually can make you more sick, actually can make you less productive in starting a new business, actually make you less attractive for dating another person. So that is exactly the power, by the way, of Purim, which you mentioned, and also the Shabbat that is before Purim. I'm not going to get into it too much, but this whole process of the few days of Purim is all about bringing us, creating, there's a window in time for us to connect to that 100% certainty that there's no such thing as good and bad, right and wrong. It's all good. It's all right. It's all, maybe it's uncomfortable right now at this moment, but it is a process of bringing us to where we're supposed to be. Rav Ashlag has, the master Kabbalist, the teacher of Rav Brandwein, has a beautiful analogy about the apple. He said, what if a person knew nothing about agriculture, knew nothing about apples, and he would come and pick an apple when it's not ripe, when it's small and green and bitter, sour. He's going to give a bite and he's going to say, what is it? This is terrible. What is this fruit? Throw it away. Because that person is lacking to see the entire process of how the apple will turn red and sweet and beautiful, and eventually it's going to become the best thing. So
beautiful.
it's a beautiful connection. Angel Sandal, Angel Metat, and Moses and Purim.
Very powerful. So I think with this, we're going to wrap this time.
Let me
So
just say one more thing, because I think people will ask, okay, so you gave us all this information. What can we do? How can we connect to Angel Sandalfon? And what I would suggest is to maybe, like on a daily basis this month, sit and relax and breathe deeply and connect to yourself, connect to your heart, and think about all the places where you lack certainty. activate prayer, ask for whatever it is that you want, with the knowing that the luck is part of the process, and invite Sandal to be with you, to help you, to support you. And if you like and comment on this post on Facebook or Instagram or wherever you're going to see it, I can also send you a link to a meditation with Angel Sandal that I recorded before. So also good time to mention that both Rivki and I are offering one-on-one service that can help you find your guardian angel, the chart of your angels at the time you were born, and generally meditation that can support you in your day-to-day life with angels.
Amazing. So please share, join us next month for Aries, special angels and secrets, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much, Rachel.
Thank you,
Have a
Key.
good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.